Martha. I'm the president and founder of the Annie Appleseed Project. Yesterday, January 11th, was the 25th anniversary of my cancer survivorship. That's a pretty good thing when someone's diagnosed just before their 45th birthday. And I wanted to share some information with all of you. I was diagnosed at a time when I was suffering from severe multiple chemical sensitivity. And 2 years before that, my uncle was diagnosed with a brain tumor as a result of lung cancer. I was told by his physicians that he needed chemotherapy and radiation or he would die in 3 months or less. And I said, oh my God, do that. So they gave him chemo and radiation and he died in 3 weeks. And I said to the doctors, oh, what happened? And they said, oh, we didn't promise anything. So now my diagnosis comes and I'm sick all the time with chemical sensitivity. Every kind of smell bothers me. And the doc says, oh, doesn't matter. I said, no, it matters. He said, doesn't matter what you eat. Your immune system, that doesn't have anything to do with cancer. Exercise, I wouldn't do that. Yoga, are you trying to kill yourself? And so it went, and I left because he and I were on a different page. I didn't know what to do, but luckily, strangely enough, I had breast cancer, and there was a support group, SHARE, in New York City, and I joined a support group of women who had also been newly diagnosed, and they were horrified that I thought the surgery alone was enough, even though the surgeon told me, we got it all. I'm sure many of you have heard that. No matter what kind of cancer you had. So what am I going to do? Here I am. I can't really do chemotherapy because of my illness. I chose not to do radiation treatment. I did read studies. I went to the medical libraries. This was before the internet. And so here I am making decisions. I changed my diet. I became 100% organic. I was pretty close to that, but I became a purist. I started taking supplements. I exercised like a maniac for an hour. I did all sorts of things. I tried everything that came my way. I went to meetings. I met with people all over the place. Well, I was in New York, so I was lucky. And I started a talk group. We called it the Whole Health Study Group at SHARE. And women, and sometimes people from outside of SHARE would come and talk about what they thought they should do. And there were people who were, more informed than I. But luckily for me, a good friend became an acupuncturist, and I learned about Chinese medicine a couple of years before this, and I did acupuncture throughout. I also did Jin Shin Jitsu. I did rock medicine. I had magnets. I still do coffee enemas. I did urine therapy. I did everything that I could think of, everything, because I didn't know what would work. And I formed some basic principles that combinations of healthy behavior were better than any one thing. No magic bullet, not in conventional medicine and not in complementary, integrative, holistic, or any other thing you want to call it. But I started to have more tumors pretty shortly after the surgeries. And eventually I had 3 lumpectomies and then I had a mastectomy. And you know what? I got tumors after the mastectomy. I had 1, I had 4, I had 2, I had 14 more. In 1998, at the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium, I met Dr. George Wang, Chinese herbalist, and he began to treat me in April when I had my 25th tumor. So additionally, I had an MRI before I started, showed I had 3.5 centimeters of cancer. At the end of 10 months, Dr. Wang said I could stop, and I was afraid, so I held on for 4 more months, and he said, you gotta stop. So I stopped. I had another MRI, and cancer-free. Now, that was September 2001. Everybody who's heard my stories online, and you can find it on YouTube and a lot of different channels, but also the Annie Appleseed Project channel, knows that I was told by my doc that I had no cancer on September 12, 2001 in New York City, a day that was a pretty hairy kind of day. Anyway, I founded the Annie Appleseed Project, annieappleseedproject.org, because I really wanted to share with people